Shalom, Akim. First, I'm going to say all praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS, honors unto the elders of GMS, and salutation to the Akim that are out there on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. And just coming back with another lesson, probably going to call this Judeo-Christianity opposition to the Bible. All right, and this is, even though at this point that whole James White Alpha Omega ministries and just Edomite whitewashed white superiority Christian doctrine, taught from the time of the slave trade until now, it has completely been dismantled already. Okay. It has been destroyed, and James White has been thoroughly, and vocab has been thoroughly dismantled, by the prophets of the Lord, by the men of GMS. Okay, but we're gonna do this lesson anyway. For anyone else, all these other people on for you Edomites and you heathens that think that that you have salvation coming and all that sort of thing. The Bible does not say that. Salvation is only for the children of Israel, who today make the true Israelites according to the flesh, would be your Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and of course the scattered of faith that is mingled among the heathen. All right, we do acknowledge the scattered Israelites that are scattered among the heathen that are gonna look like the heathen, and the men of GMS are practically the only group that actually bring that truth out. No one else brings that truth out or speaks on that point. In the Bible, not even the heathen Christian sects, so called. They don't even teach about that. Two things that is foreign to modern day Christianity is the elect, all right, which is all through the New Testament, all right, and the Old Testament for that matter, and then the confusion of faith. Those are two very important subjects that constantly and will continually come up until the Lord comes back and until Yahweh comes back. Yahweh Shai comes back and does what he does and ends all that. You cannot avoid or get around the subject of the confusion of faith, and you cannot get around the subject matter of the elect. You can't do it, man. You can't have the Bible without the elect. You just can't do it. That's like having day without night. You got two things that go together. One has to complete its course so that the other one can go, man. You can't get around that. So I'm going to start with I wrote down a few scriptures here, and let's just jump into it. I've monologued enough here. This is, because Christianity says that everyone can be saved, okay? So these Edomites can rape, rob, murder, steal the whole earth. I know that sounds like a broken record, but it's true, because you're still doing that. That's never ceased, man. You got armies set up in all these lands that are not yours. One of the soldiers in my camp, man, did an excellent video, and he was talking about the coonery of some of the Northern Kingdom, man, how they're not warriors anymore. How this man broke you, destroyed you, raped your women, took your land, charged you to live on your own land, and then call you an alien on your own land, man. All right? And yet you're trying to vote for them and be a part of them and all this mess. But I'm going to start with John, the 17th chapter. I'm going to read 12 through 19. Okay? All right, because you got to remember, Christianity, according to Christianity, the way I learned it in the church, the way the Jehovah's Witnesses teach it, the way the Catholics teach it, everyone can be saved, and that's clearly not so. This is John 17, starting at verse 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. All right. So who's the son of perdition? That they're lost. Okay. It says, and now I come to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they may have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and I've given them thy word, and the world have hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. And thou hast sent me into the world, even so I have also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself, that I also might be sanctified through truth. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, man. You know, there is a scripture where he said, I pray not for the world. Because he didn't come back for all of Israel, man. Because the 2/3 are going to be cut off. And who are the 2/3? The 2/3 are the other half, the other part of Israel. If you took a pie chart, what you've seen on the line, a circle, all right, if it was a circle, and you etched out 2/3 of it, which is going to be the bigger part of the circle, there's only going to be 1/3 left. And that 1/3 that is left is whom the Bible refers to, who the Lord is referring to as the elect. That is who he's coming back for. Okay? Why? Because his elect are not going to be of the world. We're in the world, but not a part of it. The elect are not going to worship Thanksgiving. The elect are not going to go to a Donald Trump rally. The elect are not going to go to a Black Lives Matters rally. The elect are not going to be a part of the Black Panthers or support the Black Panthers or support anything that refers to itself as Black or Latin League or anything of that name. All right? The elect are not going to worship Christmas. They're not going to worship 4th of July. They're not going to honor anything about America. What they're going to honor are these holy scriptures, man. They're gonna do their best to follow the law, statutes, and commandments and worship the high holy days that are actually written in the scriptures. That is what the elect is going to occupy. And the elect will also be either teaching or they will be listening and learning and trying to follow to the best of their ability. Period, man. All right, so let's go to Zechariah, 13th chapter. Slovakia, turn right past it. It is Zechariah 13. I was going to start at 8, but you know what? I'll start at verse 7. Okay? And in my Bible, at the top of verse 7, it says the refining of God's remnant, which will be Yahweh's remnant, man. The refining of them. Okay? So he's going to refine them. Well, I'm about to read it. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass, in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. All right, so the Lord is turning his sword on his own people. But who? The 2/3, man. Because the 2/3 is just not going to get it. They are already written off. All right. When they were killing the Lord, man, they said, let his blood be a curse unto us and unto our children. And that's exactly, they're already cursed. When they did that, his blood did not cover them. Not on the first go around. His blood was for the elect. He said his sheep will hear his voice. His blood was for the elect, man. All right, he died for the elect. Verse 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. All right, because they're going through the fire through these afflictions that we go through. Pain, you know, like the pain that I have constantly in my shoulder every time the rain comes, you know, or right before the rain comes. Okay, you know, the pains of having low wages, man, of living in a bad area, the pain of of being looked down upon, be called a byword when you know who you are, and yet you're not identified as that by the world, or somebody else is walking around claiming to be the people of the Lord when you know that they aren't, when you know that you are. And you have to live with that. Okay? Of the pain of having your women and your children, and children, who's really representation of the so-called white man, rule over you. Okay? That sort of thing. That's because that's not the order, and that's not what it's meant up. Or just to be forced to observe and witness wickedness that goes against what's written in the scriptures. Even though America supposedly was a biblically based country, built upon biblical principles, blah, 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 woo, 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 but yet you got transgenderism and LBGT movement and homosexuality and lesbianism, and these people actually have more rights than you. And if you disagree with that, you're looked upon as if you're a bad person, you're the problem, or you're the wicked person. All right? You don't even have to say anything bad about it. You can just say simply that you don't agree with it. And that is enough to get you blackballed or get you treated some kind of way in the workplace or among your peers, man. Okay? And it says, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they will say, Yahweh is my power. All right, so he's going to bring up that fire too. Bringing them through that fire is when a nuclear fire comes and cooks this place, man, and destroys Babylon, because America is Babylon. Okay? And what you have to understand is that fire is a very violent death, man. Okay? And that the Lord is a very violent power. Exodus 15:3 said he is the Lord of hosts, man, the Lord of armies. He's a God of war, man. A power of war. Yahweh is his name, man. Exodus 15:3. Okay? So, kingdoms are set up with violence, and kingdoms are taken down with violence. Okay? When Alexander came in and took over all the nations of the Far East, all right? When he took over Jerusalem, when he took over Greece and everything in the Far East, he didn't come over and sit down and roll dice for it, and everybody rolled snake eyes and he won the crap game. No, he came in with armies and he raped, robbed, and pillaged. He even raped men. I got a history book in the next room to prove it. Okay? They were Alexander and his armies. They were raping men right there on the battlefield. It's not enough that you steal me and take my land. You gonna cut me down and then rape me before I die. What kind of? That's the Edomite for you, man. All right. Let me go to Matthew 10:5-6, man. All right, because kingdoms, you got to understand, man. Kingdoms come in. America was taken with great violence, man, with destruction and genocide, rape, robbery, and murder. Okay, deceitfully, because they didn't come here and declare war outright. They came here on some friendly, bringing you good tidings, bringing you the Lord, and all that mess. Okay. But this is Matthew 10:5-6. Okay? And I'm going to, read 10:5-6. And it says, these 12 did Yahweh shall send forth and command them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of Samaria enter ye not. Okay? Okay, because Samaria was full of heathens and Edomites, and heathens, and there probably was some Edomites up there as well, but all those weird nations that the king of Assyria had brought into there. Okay, and it says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So the disciples were charged with the duty to only go and teach and tell the Israelites. One of the main reasons is that they didn't have the ability to decipher who. This is blasphemous, man. Wow, this is so blasphemous. They didn't have the ability to decipher, who was Israelites and who were heathens, man. They didn't. I was trying to find something because this is a King James Bible that I'm flipping through, and I actually had come across that part when the lions came into the land of Assyria, because they put that up here. And this is a King James Bible with nothing but Renaissance art in it. Showing you everybody in the ancient world, including the people, the African nations, are all white, man. Just showing you the hatred and the lies, okay? Okay, for example, I was trying to find it quickly since I was talking about Samaria, and that I saw an image of Samaria, but, for the sake of time, I was trying to find that image, but I did stumble across this one right here with Samson, okay? And this is an image of Samson, and his death. Well, what's wrong with the picture, with the image? Everybody in the image are white. And the Philistines were African nations in Palestine. Now, the people of Palestine were not pale-fleshed people. Okay? They were so-called Africans, the sons of Ham. Okay? Those were Hamites. And we know, and that's Samson who's killing everybody, and also himself. And that was his last act of strength, was to destroy his enemies, but he died in the process. Okay? One of my favorite stories in the Bible when I was a kid. But the problem being, that just goes to show you the lies of Christianity. They can't even tell you the truth about what the people of the Lord and the people of the time frame look like, man. When you go through here, all the nations, the whole world was white. The whole world, man. All right? And that is that white superiority lie. And you have to understand that the white privilege and all that came out of those false doctrines, man. Because the undertone of it, what is said, what is silently being said is that we're special and the rest of the people aren't. We're God's chosen people. God looks like us and God was with us. That's the undertone lie that was being pushed, that's being spoken without being said, by them doing things like that. All right? By telling lies like that, man. But, that's, but they're going to pay for all that. Let me read the next verse back in Matthew 10, 5 and 6. I'm going to read verse 7. All right? And it says, and go, and as ye go, preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right? Well, the kingdom of heaven is going to come in with great violence, man. Okay? Death, by the sword, by fire, by famine, by beast, by man, all kind of crazy apparitions, storms, fire, hail, earthquakes, wars, riots and race riots. That's how the kingdom of heaven is going to be ushered in, man. Okay? Let's prove that. Let's go to Revelation 2 and 26. Okay? I'm going to read through 29. And it says, verse 26, Revelation 2 and 26, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Okay? And a good precept for that is Romans 9 and 4. Actually, I'm going to read that. You know what? The Spirit is compelling me to read it, man. So I'm going to read that quick precept in Romans, man, before I go further. Okay. Book of Acts. Romans is right after Acts. Okay, Romans the 9th chapter, the 4th verse. And it says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promises. What's the promises? The kingdom, man. So, I'm going to read it again. Who are Israelites, to whom, personal pronoun, pertaineth the adoption. Only the Israelites can be adopted back. Whom? The elect. All right, first. Because the rest of Israel is going to get the promise when they come back on the other side. Because it clearly told you that 2/3 is going to be cut off and die. You can't get around that. All right, so the 2/3 are going to come back born again into the kingdom through the elect. That's how they're going to inherit the kingdom. That's how all Israel shall be saved. All right. All right. And the glory. All right. The glory of being the Lord's chosen people. All right. And the covenants. The covenants was only given to Israel, nobody else. Okay. No other nation was given the covenants. All right. The first and the new covenants, man. Those heirs were heirs according to the flesh of the seed of Abraham, the proper seed, out of the line that out of Isaac, Jacob, and out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not out of Abraham, Ishmael, or Abraham and Esau, Isaac and Esau, not like that. It came out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That was the line, not out of Ammon and Moab, or Elam or Aram. There were other Hebrews too. Right, the line, the chosen Hebrew line, was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. Okay. It says, and the giving of the law. That's how you know it's nobody else, because only Israel was given a law, and there are too many scriptures to prove that. All right. And the service of Yahweh. Only the Israelites can serve Yahweh. Okay, and the promises. The promises what? Are the kingdom of heaven and rulership over all the other nations. As I'm reading here in Revelation. All right, verse 27, 2 and 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. He's gonna rule over the nations with a rod of iron, as vessels of a potter shall they be broken in shivers. Even as I received of my Father. I'm going to look that word shivers up, okay? We already know what a vessel is. This is kind of like a vessel right here, This is a candle, but it was a vessel used to hold the candle. There's still in it. There's still some left in this candle. This glass is a vessel. Now, if I went and picked up a pipe, a bat, or go grab my tomahawk and smash it against this, it's going to break. He's going to break the bodies of the other nations of the people like a vessel. It's coming right out the Bible. Okay? I'll read it again in case you didn't hear me. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. I will give him the morning star, and he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So the Spirit is telling the churches, who obviously has to be Israelites. The 7 churches. That's what amongst the 7 candlesticks was talking about. Those are Israelites. All right? Period. All right? If you don't understand it, you need to go back and watch some old videos, because I'm not about to break that down. But I will look up this word shivers. Okay? I want to look it up in the Winston Simplified Dictionary, 1933 Encyclopedia Edition with biblical references. Let's look it up and see what it says. I'm just curious. Okay. Shiver. This is definition 2. It says to break or splinter, to burst or fly, to break suddenly into fragments of small pieces, shatter, small fragments splintered by fall or blow. Right out the Bible, man. Next scripture. Because somebody's cut right now. All right. This is Matthew 13th chapter. And if you're an Edomite, especially, if you're a heathen or an Edomite, and you're losing your faith, and you're feeling like there is no hope, and that your world is falling apart, it is. This is Matthew 13, verse 11 through 12. And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given. So it wasn't given to everybody, man. All right. It was given to his elect. It was given, and the elect are all Israelites. Period. There's no heathen elect, man. Which, knowing and understanding that, without even being deep, man, you should understand that will make it impossible for Cornelius to have been a heathen. Okay? And we've already explained and proven that the Hellenized Greeks and spoken of in the New Testament were talking about were Israelites. All the definitions that were written by the white scholars, by the Edomite scholars, identified and proved that to be true. That the Hellenized, so when they start talking about Greek nor Jew, okay, it was talking about the Jews who knew they were Israelites and the Jews who were speaking Greek and keeping Greek customs. They purposely put the word Greek often, or the word Gentile, where the word Hellenized or Hellenista should have been. All right? And that was done on purpose. The same way that Esau takes this. Oh, found what I was looking for. Wow, all praise and glory to be unto the Most High. A strange nation in Samaria, where the lions were attacking. Okay? But what do you see? Okay? Everybody was white. And we know that the Syrian king brought in dark nations in there, into the land of Samaria. But what do you see? You see lions killing white people, which is a beautiful thing. I won't complain about that. But that's not what happened. All right? It just wasn't Edomites there. He brought in all these heathens, and most of them were dark nations when you read it. All right? Because a lot of them came from, that's why you got those Ethiopian Phoenician Jews, which Phoenician means false. All right? Because a lot of them go back, their lines go back to those people who were brought in that land. That's why they think they're Israelites, man. Verse 12, Matthew and 12, 13 and 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Verse 13. Nope, then I'm gonna go to John 15 and 16. So let's go to John 15 and 16, and I'll end it with that. We'll do the next installment. Okay. So this is for all you people to talk about how you found the Lord and that whole sort of thing. Because you can't find the Lord. You can't just decide that you're going to be, a man of the cloth, a man of the Lord, You can't. I didn't choose to do what I do. But what I do pray is that the Lord never take the spirit away from me to continue to do this, man. All right? But this is John 15 and 16. And it says, Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go forth and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye ask the Father in thy name, he may give it to you. And I've asked for a few things on the other side, because I know that it's not meant for me to have them on this side. This is not my rest. All right? And nouns, people, places, and things I have asked for. But I've asked for them on the other side, man. All I ask for on this side is my daily bread, man. And that the Lord don't take away my spirit to do this work. That he give me the heart of a lion and the courage of a lion to stand before my enemies. All right? To be a good brother to the Akim, man. To be a good leader to the men that he's appointed me over. To be a good minister to the Akim. To be a good hand to help the apostles and the elders that have been appointed over me. All right? And that's all I can ask for, man. And I pray that he keep my sons, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like I don't have a favor toward my son. Those are my sons, man, and they doing his work, and they have their own camp and their own brethren, man, which are also my brethren. So that's what I pray for, man. Nothing else really matters on this side, man. Okay. Let me just look at this and see if if I want to bring that out, because I was going to make that the last scripture, but I wrote some down. Let me just check it out real quick. Yeah, I will read it. This is 1 John 3:22. And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight, man. So only chance we got, if the Lord called on you to do this work, man, it's for you to do it in truth and sincerity, man. All right, and then with that, we have the faith and the hope that we're gonna be rewarded, when that time comes, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh Shai, unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and salutations to the Akim out there. Shalom.